You're listening to Fight Night Extra on talkSPORT 2 with me, Gareth A, and him, former world champion Barry Jones. We're fresh back from Riyadh, 5 versus 5, Queensbury versus Matchroom. And we're talking heavyweights now. Barry, Zhang knocked out Deontay Wilder, haunted Deontay Wilder for me through those first 4 rounds. It's the 4th loss in 5 for the former champion. 12 hard rounds now with Joseph Parker, 30 hard rounds with Tyson Fury. But other than that, obviously 42 knockouts from 43 wins. For me, he looks haunted. He doesn't seem able to pull the trigger. Yes, he may have been trying to take Zhang into the late rounds, but to see Wilder walked into the corner, he's always looked good when he's not being backed up. And Fury showed in the second fight with him, the thing to do with Wilder is to back him up. Joseph Parker did it. Zhang did it to massive effect. He was 5 stone heavier than him. And the old Wilder just didn't seem there for me.
Yeah. First of all, being a puncher is more about confidence than any of the style in boxing. You have to believe in your power. You have to think, if I hit him anywhere, they'll feel it. If I hit them on the chin, they're going to sleep. And he had that. So it is an arrogance to your approach to a fight. And you swing and you throw. Now, he doesn't have weight on his side. He's a small heavyweight. He was smaller than Alonzo Cody was when he just won the Bridgerweight world title.
68 pounds lighter he weighed in. 68 pounds.
But I always thought that was his friend. But because he's so athletic and speed, what makes him good. And he's long, and he punches at the end. And when he gets you at the end of those long shots, he throws with so much vigor that when it lands, the snap of the shot is what puts you to sleep. But he's lacked the confidence to do that. So, and by the way, I would say one thing, just to go back there. People say about backing him up. He was as dangerous backed up going backwards as he was going forwards at his peak when he was knocking people out. He has a string, a plethora of knockouts on the moving backwards. Yeah, he could find it. He would commit to every shot. That's the difference. And now, so you talk about his 4 losses in 5 fights. Let's take the Fury losses and put them on their own. The last 2 losses, they're the ones because they're the ones where he's shown he was too wary to let his hands go. And without that, and he doesn't have tremendous boxing ability or a boxing brain, that's the truth. So lacking that ability, just let your hands go and be really confident, just means you're a big, tall tiger to hit. And Zhang, who's clever, he hasn't got fast hands, but he's a real good stylist. He got heavy hands, and he can block and counter, and he has good timing.
He's sneaky, isn't he? He's sneaky. Yeah.
You forget, he didn't big silver medalist.
Yeah.
And that wasn't all just power like Wilder. When Wilder got his bronze, it was all about his power. This was about just real good technique. And so he was always going to be the favourite to win this fight, especially at the stage of their career. I think the way they both been beat. But there was a hope that maybe Zhang was such a lazy fighter, he only works for 20 seconds of a round. With 20 seconds of hell on earth. That's the truth. Mm. And you need the intelligence of a Joseph Parker to be able to, and a toughness. And I don't think Wilder quite has that. He's tough, but he's not tough when he has no arsenal. And he was just sad. And when he got caught, he got span around with one right hook, and then he had a free shot then, Zhang, on him, and I think the referee was right to stop it.
I agree.
Got up enough to continue, but he hadn't made a dent. In the short time he was in the ring, he didn't know quite where he was, and the next shot was going to just put him to sleep.
It was merciful, the stoppage by the referee, in my view. It wouldn't have been a salutary sight to see Zhang getting free range on Wilder. He charged at him like a loose wildebeest when he saw it, hurt him and spun him around. There's that camera angle where he's straight on Zhang and he's sprinting across the ring to deliver. If Wilder's looking for a reason to come back, could there be something? Because he seemed to be remonstrating with the referee about something at the time, which he shouldn't have been doing. He should have been protecting himself. I thought it was a fair stoppage, but if he's looking for something, it was a weird ending to the fight. For me, I don't like to say people should retire, but I'm not sure I want to see Zhang I'm not sure I want to see Wilder in with any of the top heavyweights anymore. Like you say, he doesn't seem to be able to pull the trigger. That's a sign of confidence gone, a sign that someone's coming very close to the end. I think that the battery levels, if you were looking at them in him, they seemed halfway there against Parker in a strange performance. And this seemed to be even the completion of that battery about to run out. He's had a long career. I think he's been a great champion, a great WBC champion. Like you say, his boxing skills make him look very awkward when he's not on top. So for me, I think I don't see where he goes from here. Not in the current climate in the heavyweight division, but, and His Excellency mentioned it, potential big homecoming for Zhilei Zhang. They might go to Shanghai, they might go to Beijing. They've got 2 billion people. He's 41, but he looks set for many more big nights.
Yeah, he does. I think he's a beatable product. Joseph Parker proved that, of course. But I don't know what fight for him. I think at the minute, obviously Usyk and Fury, but then it's looking like Dubois is gonna go another route. So it's maybe Joshua possibly. So where's the huge fight for him? He's gonna have to fight one of the guys coming up, like a Jared Anderson or something like that.
Or an Agit Kabayel.
I mentioned Agit Kabayel, but that's it's not a huge draw, is it? That's the problem with that.
No.
It's a homecoming. And maybe those titles will be fragmented and they get a vacant title. So that's a worthy fight for a title, of course. So, but his future's bright. With that knockout, he reignited his career. He only had one loss, but he reignited his career. So that's a positive hit. 2 losses he had, but the Hergish fight was very controversial. But I think, so he's in a good place, but he might have to wait to get the big fight that he wants. And I agree with you. For Wilder, I think, he's earned a lot of money. He's had a showreel career. You just show the knockouts, one of the most devastating punches the division's ever seen. And and he's got a lovely family, and he can look after them. And what does he need now? He's going to be cannon fodder for Jared Anderson's, for Frank Sanchez's, for people like that. He's going to be that. And who wants to see that? You don't want to see them. You don't want to see a massive and a quick demise of a fighter who was once the most feared heavyweight on the planet. That's the truth. He wasn't the best, but he was the most feared for the time. There's a lot of solace there that he can be comforted by that. That he was at the best at one time. I mean, it's just a shame we're not going to see the Joshua fight.
No, I was about to say that. The biggest issue is for 6 years, and this is where the revolution is being televised right now. That for 6 years we waited for that fight, Joshua and Wilder, and even in the ring on Saturday night, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh even teased before Zhang and Wilder walked the ring that if Wilder was really impressive, they might even look to put Wilder and Joshua on at Wembley in September. Because that fight has been lost for the fans, it's been lost for the fighters, and hopefully we've learned from it. Hopefully the promoters have learned from that, because that fight should have happened.
Yeah, but we got the history. We got a history of the sport. We could pick out from any generation fights that should have happened, but greed has got in the way.
Yeah,
egos or whatever it may be. So that's just the part and parcel of the sport, unfortunately. But yeah, it's one of those fights we should have seen, but we don't want to see it now. It's not a competitive fight anymore. That's Joshua walked right through it. That's the truth of it. I mean, the Wilder we've seen in his last 2 fights, and I don't think you can get that back. I don't think you can get that natural aggression that he had, that anger that he had, that passion he used to have. I don't think you can replicate that. You either got it or you haven't. When it's gone for good.
On the sliding escalators, the sliding doors, if you like, very, very different night for Daniel Dubois. He put on an irresistible performance in a bludgeoning, brutal fight from the opening bell with Filip Hrgović. Both men, Don Charles, Dubois' trainer, and Filip Hrgović himself had told me in fight week that they were definitely going for the knockout, and they went for it. There was no phony war at the beginning. They went from the opening bell. It was brutal to watch. It was one of those fights where live, it was taking the air out of you the whole time. You were gasping. You knew it couldn't go 12 rounds. For me, Barry, Daniel Dubois showed a learning curve from the Alexander Usyk fight, that he knew when to take his opportunity when it was there. It's learning curve from the Jarrell Miller fight, where he could go through a difficult period in a fight and come back. And I thought he was tremendous. And I really do think he's come through something. And at 26 now, he's got his man strength mentally. He always had it physically. He's got it mentally now. And I think he has moved from prospect and contender to a genuine world title, world level fighter.
Yeah, well, you mentioned there about, I think it was, for me, the Miller fights. I think that changed it, because in that fight, he got tired and he pushed through that barrier. And on the other side, it's your second wind. And an extra zest in energy. But he never did that before. So I think the people on about his chin before, because he quit twice in 2 fights. That's the truth. He quit against Joe Joyce with pain, but that's but it's still a quit to quit. And he quit against Usyk as well. He stayed on his knee. I don't judge him for that, but
or he lived to fight another day, maybe.
No. I don't. You can't, as a fighter, you can't think to live to fight for another day. That's someone else's decision. You got to think about winning the fight. Let someone else do that. If you're thinking about live to fight another day, you're in the wrong sport. That's just, and I won this brave fight, so I'm not making, but that's just how it is, Gareth. So, but he panicked. It wasn't about he was hurt.
He did panic. He did panic. Yeah.
Panics when he gets tired. I believe he panics when he gets tired. And then when he gets hurt, when he's tired, gets hurt, the panic comes in and he doesn't know what to do. But in the Miller fight, he pushed through that tiredness. And that gave him a belief. And look how energetic he was in this fight. He was busy throughout. He almost sometimes you don't wait till, fitness is recovery. Fitness is total recovery. You get tired, your fitness gets you to recovery. You have that minute rest, you go out and you're full of energy again. You don't believe it until you've done it. You don't believe you have it. So he worked hard early. He wanted to get to that tired place really early, because he knew the other side is a whole new battery of energy that you can push through. And he had it in those later rounds. He was the last 2 rounds. He was so busy and effective that Hrgović, who's much more naturally talented, boxed with an arrogance of entitlement.
Yeah.
In every fight. And I thought he was boxing quite well, Hrgović, I thought, in the early rounds. And I thought Dubois was going to be up against it here, but then he just wouldn't throw enough punches. When he landed a good shot on Dubois, who Dubois took a punch really well, by the way, just show he has a good chin, Hrgović wouldn't commit to any attack. He wouldn't, there was no continuity in his work. So Dubois was just fantastic. He was amazing. The cuts saved Hrgović from being knocked out. That's what I feel.
I agree with you. It looked like he'd been hit by a meat cleaver in the end, didn't it? It was a gory, bloody zombie mess, and I think it added to the drama of the fight and moving it forward. It's not official, but we heard again from Frank Warren, who's told talkSPORT he hopes to announce Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois in the UK for September this year. It's not fully signed yet, but here's what he had to say.
We would love it to be in the UK. They're 2 Brits. It would be a great fight to put on at Wembley. And we do have a press conference later on this month, and hopefully then we can make some announcements. But AJ was ringside. I was sitting next to him. In fact, I said to him, right, come on, let's get this on. And, we've got discussions going on, so hopefully we can get it over the line.
So it's not Wilder or Fury, but still a massive fight. Daniel Dubois, for me, against Anthony Joshua, Barry, as the headline at Wembley Stadium. They want to break all records. It's a great headliner. It worked. The rising kid against Joshua, there's enough jeopardy. I make Joshua a big favourite still, the way he's boxing at the moment, but there is enough jeopardy there that you could see Daniel Dubois defeating Anthony Joshua or even knocking him out.
Well, you can, because what Dubois has is a jab that's a power shot. I mean, I didn't see the stats of how many power shots he threw, but if they didn't count the jab, then those stats are useless. Like, that jab is like a lump of wood hitting you in the face every time. It's horrific. So that can cause anyone problems. And his energy that he has now, this newfound energy that he knows he can believe in his fitness, makes him a really dangerous opponent throughout the fight, not just for the first 6 rounds. But I love this fight because it's the beauty of boxing. You would never put these two together. They're different generations. By the time Dubois got there, and it didn't look like for the time that he would get to the elite level, that Joshua would have been sailing into the sunset. And he would have already boxed Fury 3 times and Wilder twice and everything else. But that hasn't happened. And now we got this fight now, which is not him getting Dubois when he's too green, or Dubois getting Joshua when he's past his sell-by date. You got a guys who are both in really good form, finding their best form, arguably. Yeah. We'll find out about Joshua. Yeah, we still got to find out. He was great against Ngannou, but Ngannou was still a novice, but he looked fantastic. And I think every fight since the Ruiz knockout, since the Usyk, then they say that, every fight has been an improvement. A slow improvement, but I think the last two have been dramatic improvements. And that's good for his mental confidence and for his physicality. And so for Dubois, it's been very, very similar, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a great fight to make. And it'll sell out Wembley Stadium or wherever they'll put it. It's unbelievable. And you've never thought this fight would have been made. And I think that's just why boxing can be such a great sport, because it's so unpredictable. But this is now arguably the biggest fight in the heavy division in the UK.
Absolutely. Well, outside Tyson Fury and Anthony.
He got enough on his Fury.
As you say, Frank Warren's always said, by the way, he'd make Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua in a heartbeat. And the old boy, I call him the old boy, the promoter. Frank's got this real canny knack of knowing. Well, he's always built fighters brilliantly, and I think that's where he deserves great credit. He's built Daniel Dubois from the very beginning. He built Nick Ball from the beginning. He built Willie Hutchinson from the beginning. He did Nazim Hamid from the beginning. Ricky Hatton from the beginning. He's got a canny knack of finding great fighters. And I wouldn't put it past Daniel Dubois to have an amazing night against Anthony Joshua. It's not necessarily what we all want, but it's his opportunity now. As you mentioned as well, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk go at it again. Confirmed for December the 21st in Riyadh. Little early Christmas present for all the fans.